Hey guys, my name is Michal Hucko and this is another part of the Python beginner tutorial. Thank you very much for joining in, and in today's session we're gonna talk about strings. Well, I covered something about strings in the previous videos, but I think we need some more information to be familiar with everything, with almost everything we can do with the strings. So, yes, of course, in order to explain everything, we will not have enough time, so I will cover just the basics, and through the rest of the tutorial, I will go into further details. So sit back, relax, and let's dive right into the Visual Studio Code. So, as you can see again, I have prepared a file called string operations. You can find this file in the link in the description. But I highly recommend everything, and I will always repeat it, to write down the code by your own. So I will run it maybe too fast for you. Feel free to pause the video and write the code and be 100% sure you understand everything what is written there. Yes, don't be just this guy who is just opening the code and saying yes, I read it, I understand. You will not remember it. You have to get the code into your hands, and then through the hands get the code inside your head, and that's the right place where the code needs to be, and the syntax also. So let's start this. In today's video we will cover a lot of stuff. So first we have the simple string. So the string is defined between the double quotes, so the words between the double quotes. This is the simple string. One more thing, in the Visual Studio Code, if you go to the terminal and you don't see the terminal down there, you can open the terminal with the new terminal command. Now this terminal is exactly the same terminal as you see here, so everything you will be able to write here, you can also write in the Visual Studio Code terminal, yes? So when I run, and one nice hack is to write Python 3 here, and now you got the interpreter running inside the Visual Studio Code, and when you want to run something from the Visual Studio Code, you just highlight it and press Command Shift Enter. Yes, Shift Enter. So as you can see, two lines were executed in the sequential way. So first line was here, string, and then the string was printed. And as you can see, this string was printed out. Yes. I want to show you one most important difference between the running code and using the interpreter in the terminal. So if you just put this string inside here and run enter, you can see that the string was outputted in single quotes. So in order to get rid of these single quotes during the output, you need to write print string as I did in the previous example code, right? Okay, in the line 3 we have string defined in single quotes. You can use single quotes and double quotes. Now there are a couple of reasons for this. So sometimes it's good to use single quotes because you want to use a double quote in your string. So something like this is 100% valid. And sometimes you just do it in the opposite way, so use the single quote in the double quotes, right? Fine. This is the second string. So this is string with single quotes. Now in order to you can use also the single quote in single quotes by using this backslash. So if you put backslash in the middle of the single quoted string, you can escape, it's called escaping character, the value of single quote, because without this will end the string and this will cause an error. So in order to use single quote character in single quoted string, you just need to escape it like this. So now you will be able to run this. Yes, this is single quote in the single quote string, right? You can do it like with double quotes. Yeah, there are some examples. I will keep these examples for you to run, try it out on your own. I will skip through them right now. Right, so there is a way how you can, split the string into multiple lines using some special characters. So backslash and stands for new line. So if you run this string, you will see that the string has been splitted into two lines, right? So there are a couple of special white characters. You can find them on internet. I will use a couple of them during the tutorial. Now I'm covering just the basic one, and feel free to go to internet and type down so white special characters in Python, and you will get the list of something called white characters. So the characters like this which you can fill into the strings and do them the special function. Right, so this is the tab sign, so this will, you know, split the string into multiple lines, and the another line will be formatted. Well, sorry, so we are in the line 13. So when I run it like this, I get this string with new line and a tab, right? So then you can have tricky strings, like for example the file path, which consists the backslash, and this can cause, for example, in case of Windows path to behave wrongly. So in this case, if you run this tricky string path, you will see the path was outputted in 2 lines, but you don't want to do this. So in this case, you can use something which is called a raw string, which is just ignoring every special character. So if you run it like this, you will see that the path is printed exactly as we want it, right? And then you can specify something which is called multi-line string. In order to specify a multi-line string, you will have to use these 3 double quotes in a row or 3 single quotes in case of a single quoted string. So if I replace it with the single quotes, it will do exactly the same thing. And then you can specify this multi-line string. So if I run this, you will see I got this multi-line string. But there is one minor catch. The multi-line string will be separated with new lines at the beginning and end of the end, as you can see here. So in order to get rid of this, you will use the backslash at each line. So if I run it like this, I won't have any new lines there. So if I delete this one, I will have the new line only at the beginning. You can see? Okay, so as you can see, again, I'm using commands inside the file, and in this case I'm using commands to, you know, to express something, to give you information. So for example, if you will look back into the file in a couple of weeks and you will forget about this video, you can just briefly recall what is this part of code doing. So now we're gonna use the string operation, right? I don't need the time here. So let's first talk about the concatenation. Now, what is concatenation? So concatenation is an addition of 2 strings. So a simple string concatenation example can be the hello plus world. And guess the output. Yeah, just try to write it down, really. This can be maybe a good example. Write down the output now. I will give you a couple of seconds. So what will be the output of hello plus world? Yeah, I guess each of you has written hello space world, but if I run it, it will be hello world together because there was no space in here. This is very tricky. Many times when I'm writing these concatenation strings, I always keeping like in mind that when there is a plus, it will always put the space there. No space will be there. If you put here space, in this case the space will be there. Yep. Here I want to show you that you can also concatenate the variables which are the strings. So for example, I have a variable called string hello, which consists of the string hello, and string world, which consists of string world. And if I run it like this, I will get the hello world again. Yes, it makes sense. Variables consisting of strings are basically the strings itself, so it's possible to concatenate them with the plus sign. Now, Python provides a tricky way to concatenate 2 strings like this. So nothing in between, concatenating 2 strings. This is also a valid syntax in Python, but I'm not using it because it's very tricky. Because when you, for example, want to run a code like this, hello string, this will cause an error, right? Because this is not supported syntax in the Python. So as you can see, syntax error, invalid syntax, right? So please don't use it. Well, you can use it. You can have just this information in your head. I'm not using it. Feel free to use it if you want. So in order to work it properly, you need to put the plus sign in between the string and the variable of string, right? Like this. Yeah. Like this. Okay, then we have the multiplication, and you can multiply string and number, right? So for example, this will output 3 times high in a row, yes? So you can imagine the multiplication the same way as addition, like 3 times high space plus high space plus high space, yes? So you can do it with every string and also with the variables. It's up to you. Try it. Yes, don't just think about it, try it. Write it down into your computer. If there is an error, think about an error. If you don't know how to figure out the error, go to Google, print down the error and look for the answers there. We will cover how to find and track the errors in the Python in future videos, so stay tuned for it. Well, and then we can talk now about string and numbers. So basically, number is not the same data type as string, but Python provides you a way how to work with it. So in the previous video, I was doing something like this. So printing the string and the number. So the print function allows us to concatenate the string and the number without any sign like this. So if you run this, you get number is 6. And this is tricky because I have not specified the space here, but when I use the comma here inside the print, it will automatically put the space there. Yes, so poof. Now I was talking that plus is not putting the space and this is putting the space. So why is Python doing this to us? Why is it so confusing? Why is it so hard? Don't worry guys, you will get used to it. Just try it down and you will learn with your errors, right? So don't worry about your errors. So you can do also something like this. So number is 6 and some additional string, right? So 3, 2, 1 and I have to highlight it. 3, 2, 1, go. Number is 6, additional string, right? But right now, let's try something different. Let's try the plus sign between the string and the number. Just like this. This will cause an error. And I want to show you how. What for an error. And the error is type error. The Python is saying you. The Python is speaking to you about your errors. So listen to the Python. I have met a lot of beginner programmers who are just ignoring the Python error. Like I was teaching 1 year at the university, and I had these students and they were just like asking like, why is this not working for me? And they had this error in front of them and they were just blind. They didn't read the error because they were scared of errors. Guys, errors are here for you to learn. What is the error saying? Type error. Can only concatenate string, not int to string. So what does it mean? The string plus the integer is causing problems. So in order to overcome this, you need to change the type of the integer. Yes, we will cover more about types and changing the types dynamically. So basically, just the only thing you need to know if you want to convert, it's called conversion. So in the business, convert euros for dollars, right? So if you want to convert the number into the integer into the string, you need to use something called string. str constructor or function. So you put the str and in brackets you put the number. Now this will be valid command. Run it. You can see number is 6. Again, plus sign, no space, right? So, but what does this mean? So if you print the type of 6, what will be this output? It's from previous video. It will be integer. And now, if you put the type of the str6, R6, what will be the output? String. So now we converted the integer into the string. This was maybe a lot of information. Feel free to pause the video and run it on your own. Okay. There is another tool with the strings which is called formatted strings. You can put the number directly into the string without even transforming it. I like very much this approach. I'm using it daily. It's helpful. So for example, if you want to put the 6 inside the string at the given position, you can write something like this. And this is a very powerful tool because inside the brackets, you can put every Python command, almost every Python command, which is returning some value. So for example, this 6 plus 6 will return the integer, the addition, the result of the sum. So if I run this, it will output 12. Amazing. And you can also concat another string at the end. So I put it here just for example. Deep breath in, deep breath out. Feel free to pause it for a few minutes. We will continue. The next thing is indexing of strings. Now, when we are talking about strings, we are talking about a bunch of characters. Yes, so the letters, numbers, the special characters, the underscores, yes, the dashes, the spaces. Yes, so this is everything a string. And internally, Python is creating an array, so a set of, be careful, set an array is different in Python, but we will call it an array or a list of these characters. So each string is basically a list of characters. Many of you met with the expression of array, maybe in some different languages. So in this case, Python refers to string as an array of characters. So that means, let's say we have this instructor string, yes? So it's a list of characters and we want to access the first letter in the string. We can do it like this. It's M, right? Because the first letter of my name is M. And now be careful. Python is indexing strings, right? Strings with the number 0, not with the number 1 as it is in the MATLAB or other programming languages. It's from 0. So the first letter is at 0th position, the second letter is at first position, the third letter is at second position, and so on and so on. Please make this mental exercise for you, and please remember that everything is indexed from 0. So if you now want to know the type of the first letter, what it will be? What do you think it will be? It will be string, right? So each letter is also a string in this case. So instructor3 will be the fourth letter of my name. Now, when you use -1, you are referring to last letter, yes? So when you are using minus, you are indexing from behind. So what will be this -1? It will be O, because there is no -0. From backwards, you are indexing from -1. Okay, so this is like complicated. I know you are getting lost into this. Don't worry, feel free to run this code as many times as you want with different strings and try to guess the output before you run the code, yes? So this is the -1. And now you can refer to the set of the letters. For example, you want the letters starting from 0th position and ending at the 6th position. And again, try what will be the output. And when you run it, it will be my first name. So Michal, yes? You want to refer only, so you can rewrite this code the same way as this. So if the starting position is 0, you can omit it. So this is exactly the same as the previous command. Now this is a tricky. What will be this output? And maybe some of you say it will be your whole name and surname, but no. This will end at the second last letter. So without my last letter, the whole string. You can concatenate these guys together. What will be output of this? Yes, so we want starting from the 0th position at the second position, and then from the second to the end. So this will be my whole name. And you can also do it from backwards. So starting at the -4 position to the end of so -4 up to the end of the string. Now careful, Python allows us something to do and something not to do. For example, you can do something like this. I want the letters from second position up to 103rd position. Yes? So this will allow us Python, and it will stop at the end without saying any error. So this is a valid command. This is also a valid command. You can start somewhere far away and you want to continue somewhere even further. This will return nothing. So this is an empty string without anything to output, right? But what Python doesn't allow us is this. So if you want to refer to a single letter outside of the list, so 45th position, right? This will cause an index error. String index is out of range. So it's saying, Michal, you are trying to access the letter outside of the length of the string. The string has only, I don't know, 10 letters, and you are trying to access 45th, which is away. You cannot access this memory, yes? You are restricted to this, only to the limit. This was a lot of information about strings, guys, I know. Just feel free to, absorb this information. Try the examples with your names, with the names of your, I don't know, girlfriend, boyfriend, brother, sister, whatever. I hope you enjoyed this video. Strings are amazing. I like the strings. I'm using them daily. So feel free to have some time. I hope I will see you guys in the next video. I wish you a nice day and see ya.